it was yesterday, today it's now. What have you done? What have you contributed to your community? What have you contributed to your economy? What have you contributed to the world around you, to the people around you, their friends? How have you elevated each other? Are you always just talking about things where you're just investing in why you're not getting back, or are you talking about things where you're just investing in business and businesses are growing up and up and up? Who are your friends? How do they elevate you? How do you value them? How do you openly tell them, hey, this is different, let us do it different, let us make it work differently? We all go through different things, but one thing is real: category. How people categorize you, how the world categorizes you, how you categorize your business is why others think and dream differently and achieve differently. You will walk into moments where you're the stranger in it. Your language is new, your wearing is new, your accent is new, your skin color is new, and everything is new. But in this family where everything is new, how do you welcome them? Because you are the new person there. As they're trying to embrace you, how do you benevolently become you by yourself? For the people we love, treasure us differently. They believe differently, they dream differently, they wonder differently. And the more they wonder, the more you manifest and become what they actually really dream of. You know, always what they really dream of, always being around with, like something like a treasure, something like whatever they treasure so much around them, to become part of their lives and all that. But it's not because no one else can become that. It's because they choose. They choose you. Not because others can't. Not because your geolocation favors you. Not because your timeline favors you. But because of your courage, your resilience, your toil, your diverness to hustle through beyond what others can. Beyond the geolocation limits, beyond the mindset limits, beyond what others think of as illicit. We've been to places where the world loves you differently, where people think eating a frog is okay. where a snake is delicacy, where dog meat is delicacy, where monkeys are harbored just to be eaten, like they are reared like you rear chicken. Yeah. But these jungles, these environments, these communities actually help us to understand more. Because the more we understand what others don't understand, the more we dream what others don't dream of, the more we believe what others don't believe, the more other things happen around us. How do you categorize yourself? There is scripting life, and then there is unscripted life. Scripted life, that is for movie stars. If you're not a movie star, how do you live your life? Because the scripted life means being on set, the director does that, you do that, and from set there is something that is work. But away from that set, away from being an actor, away from being that person in front of that camera, who are you? What are you? When do you embrace the life away from the camera? Because as I come from my work, doing all that, whatever I do, to just find time to do a short video, someone else can't find that time. They're going through totally different kind of life. It's not by how they choose, but because other people decide to categorize them as that, and that propels beef around the environment they live. They end up stressing more, struggling more, trying so much to what can I say, trying so much to fit in when actually they shouldn't be fitting in. They should be becoming better. That's why most of the times people end up in wars. You're fighting with yourself. You don't have that time to do that, but you're stressing yourself. I have to rush to be here, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do. You've got only 2 hands and 10 fingers on it. What can they do? So it's what life is. You've got 2 hands. If their hands full, then you can't stress more. That's where delegation comes in. That's where structuring comes in. People get to understand, okay, the company and the business has structures, so that someone else can actually take care of something while you're also taking care of something else. That is category. Yeah. So when people walk in and they're like, hey, this is what I need, they get to know, to understand who they should be asking. While the big man in the structures is trying to look for the bills and all that to pay everyone else in the structures. Everyone else in the structures has and must make sure the big man isn't stressed, because that's how life is. That's where the power of union comes in. Relationships, family, civilization. You get to understand that in a family there is a father, there is a mother, and then those two decide who comes next, how they come next, who nannies them through that, and it's life. Yeah, you find that there are religions where they have their structures. They have the top priest. They have whatever the structure is. You have the tribes, the kingdoms with structures. How do you really categorize your life, your business, your tomorrow? Because as the world thinks we have this and this and this category, you might be having something new. We've lived in the science of always unveiling new things. Science revoking science. In this era where doctors are saying something different, and then the next era doctors are saying something different, it's not because the first doctors didn't have the mindsets, but maybe the advancement of technology and then disease persistence makes their research a little bit that needs to be elevated, to be upgraded for the new era. Yeah. Then you find a life where families exist. You have to embrace that a mother is there, the father is there, their daughters, their sons, and everything. Where a father can't really walk in and say hey to this and that everything around the home, a mother does that. You value that, yeah? Or a mother can't walk in and say this and this and this and that. The first child says that. Who does that? Takes care of that. Where the first child can't, someone responsible does, yeah? Because it's the same family, it's the same unit, it's the same union. It's only complete when every side of it is working. Something you don't fight. It's the economics of how it works. While people are trying to find the physics and the logic of how everything works, how economies thrive beyond being in the third world levels, the families comes first, yeah? That category comes first. How do you categorize your business? Who is your audience? How do you value them? Because every business goes to a particular kind of audience. You can't say you're presenting to an audience below 14 years with content of 25 years and above. You can't say presenting to an audience of 25 years and above with content of kindergarten doodling. It's categorization, it's choice, it's decision. While people are trying to say, how does the world become this? The world chooses to become that. There are things you don't omit. You're going through the city. There are people there. You can't stop them. Unless if there is something like really something big, yeah? That makes the government say like, hey, you're not going through the city or this and this because of this and this is happening. But without that, everyone goes through the city, so you don't walk through the city expecting not to meet people. And the people you meet come from different backgrounds, they have gone through different stressing moments and things like that, and they actually don't even know what is stressing you. They don't know what is on your head. So the best you can do is walk through the streets, go to your destination, do whatever you do, and go to wherever you're going without stressing. The world will always try to find that. Yeah? But you, as you decide what you're going through, you don't just go through a life like everyone, because your background is different, your way of living is different, your style of life is different, your choice of things is different. Not everyone loves that. So it's why you don't stress when you're around town. People walk in with all different mindsets, people walk in with all different stressing moments. The best thing you can do is, if you may be seated in a restaurant and they're having a conversations and your ears are open, is try so much to focus on your meal. Because in that restaurant where you're taking a rest, the only thing you're there to do is to eat your food, no matter the conversation that they're saying. So, the category of service you're receiving in that restaurant is your client eating food and nothing else. So if a plate is breaking or water is pouring around, they have janitors and cleaners. You don't care about that. You learn to live by that. And that's how businesses thrive. Yeah? No matter how much the document might say in the business documents and all that, the business is allowed to do all sorts of things. You as a business owner or as a business director decide when to limit that. You decide what category of things you do. You look at brands. You look at brand lining, If your business was doodling at 1 year or 2 years, will it still be doodling when it's 5 years, when it's 10 years? Have you structured for that? Have you prepared for that? People always want to be like, how do businesses thrive? The businesses thrive with structuring first. As the big man is structuring how these people are going to receive their salaries, those who receive the salaries are actually structuring how the business is going to thrive for the next 10 years so that it can keep them like healthy, it can keep feeding those families, it can keep doing all sorts of things. So if you're in a business that doesn't actually put anything or upgrade you to anywhere, then make sure you open up. You're like, hey, can we have something where we're actually upgrading everyone around here? Companies come up with policies that help everyone out, policies that actually help societies out, policies that help mentor or pave communities to better. You've been to environments and countries where smoking weed and cigarettes and all sorts of things is allowed, and then you've been to states and countries and where it's not allowed, yeah, and you don't disobey that, because if it's not allowed, it's not allowed. And if you're addicted to it or you're doing it, then you go to countries where it is allowed, or you respect your privacy and do it privately. If the environment you're living in or the community you're living in allows that, because cigarettes are sold in shops, but it doesn't mean they don't cause cancer. But if the government isn't closing down a cigarette factory, then why should somebody from the community actually hate a cigarette smoker? Because in the first place, if you want to shut down the community from smoking, you look at the source. If I was to change a product, yeah, I would look at the maker. If I can find the maker, I can talk to the maker, then we can look at how we can change the product, we can look at the ingredients. And once we can change that product, then everything else can be okay. But how do you categorize yourself to better? It won't always be as what people think, yeah? It will always be you. Because before other people categorize you, you as you have to find a level of what you desire, what you want. The Muslims don't eat pork. So when you walk going into the mosque, you don't go with pork and start saying, hey, let us share this thigh from a pork joint. They'll castrate you. You choose, you decide, you take your decisions somewhere, enjoy them, and then you go to the Muslim community and just have fun, because it's what life allows us to do. You respect that. What do you make of your time? How do you categorize it? While others call it Sunday, others are actually working. While others are going to bed, others are actually staying awake. They are working in shifts. while others are working from home. Others want to open the shops, like where their eyes have to always be welcoming someone because the shop is open, while other people's mindsets are like, no, I don't even need to open a shop somewhere to to run my business. Others are questioning themselves. You won't always end up on the same table. That is because the delicacies on the table are different. Our favoritism is different. Our choices are different. You can't have a dinner and say you're putting a Muslim on a table where pork is. That will be disrespecting them. So if you're hosting Muslims, you make sure there is no pork at the event. It should be halal. That's category, yeah? You learn that, you enjoy that. Your economy thrives differently. There is a lot that others would actually really want to understand. But like advancement of other things is how you should let yourself advance to a next level always. You live in a life where you embrace and move on. Where others think that is impossible, you're like, how about this? You don't expect it to always be as simple as it is. Tomorrow it will be just a fingerprint in a different community. Today it's a fingerprint. You have to go through that door to the next level, to the topmost boss. You need that fingerprint, like in your door, at the company, at the corporate offices, yeah, so that everyone goes through, but by the system, not by their choice. Do better by being better. It's the value of now. It's why we live, to be better. Be in the category that categorizes everything better and differently. It's the value of now. Dr. Rayyans Elvis, F02E05 Creations.